All right, so Apple finally released their $400 SE second generation, and I'm going to give you guys the unboxing experience and let you know if you gotta have it or not.
All right, so here we are, guys, the iPhone SE in hand. I have the 128GB model in the product red. I'm gonna go ahead and get this unboxed. Really easy to get off. We've seen this packaging before. So we have designed by Apple in California. Look at the paperwork, see if we get any red stickers. Unfortunately, we don't. SIM card tray. So I want to go out and say that this does say it's going out to HIV and AIDS, but on Apple's website, it does say it's going out to COVID relief. So if you do decide to get the product red, you are supporting that cause. So that's nice from Apple. And then we have the device itself. This nice cherry red. So as usual, we have our power button on the right hand side, SIM card tray. The bottom is going to be identical on both sides, no headphone jack. Right hand side, we have the ringer and the vibrate up here, and then we have the volume up, volume down, and this device actually looks really good in this red color. Gonna go ahead and get this turned on. So seeing what else is in the box, we have the earbuds that have the wire connected to them. We have the 5-watt power adapter, and then we have the lightning to USB-A connector. So that's all that comes in the box. Pretty basic stuff by Apple. But yeah, this is the display, guys. See the display everyone has been using for many years, and I think it's what a lot of people want to upgrade to. So let me actually go get my iPhone 6s so you guys can see the comparison. All right, so I have a gold 6s in my hands, and as you guys can see, it's pretty much identical in terms of the form factor, but the front on this one is black, so kind of blends in together with the entire display when the phone is off, whereas on the white model you can clearly see the chin and forehead.
So I want to say that if you are on the 6, 6S, 7, or even the 8, moving over to the SE2 is not going to be that big of a difference for you other than seeing a performance. But if you are a person who has been on the 10 or above, going back down to the SE2, I will say the first couple of days might be a little bit jarring just because you are losing a lot of your screen with the chin and forehead. The display is LCD. It's not the OLED that you get, and it's just a very different experience at first, but within a couple of days, you'll get used to it. Another thing I want to note is they've actually moved the Apple logo to the middle, which I think is a pretty clean design. It's also glass back. This is the 6S on this side right here, and I think the design on the SE2 is a better design on the back. The SE2 by far with the A13 bionic chip is a much more powerful device than all its predecessors. It's the same processor that's inside the 11, so you are getting pretty much the latest processor that Apple has to offer in their smartphones, and it pretty much wipes the floor when it comes to running heavy applications on your smartphone. Moving on to the camera, I tried to get the best pictures that I could, but outside has been it's just been raining a lot, so I tried to get the best pictures that I could on the walking trail, and I think you guys might be pretty impressed with the camera quality. I have an iPhone 10, and I would say that SE2 pretty much, I don't want to say destroys the iPhone 10, but I can definitely see a noticeable difference when looking at the iPhone 10 versus the SE2. And the SE2 has a more, I would say the colors are more rich, and there's optical stabilization as well. So I'll let you guys see some of the clips. Another thing I want to note is it is IP67 rated, so if you like to drink your iPhone, you can go ahead and do that perfectly fine. Battery life, since it is using the A13 bionic chip and it's not running a OLED display, it's a 4.7-inch screen. The battery life I've gotten is pretty much all day. I don't think anyone's gonna have that big of a problem, and I don't even enable low battery mode at all. So I think if you were to enable low battery, you would have probably you would get through the whole day, maybe bleed into a little into the next. So there's haptic touch, there's no more 3D touch. You do get wireless charging, which I think is a very good thing that people should have in a smartphone nowadays. It's a really good device, and it's a deal that I think is going to be pretty hard to beat, especially if you are in the Apple ecosystem. I think that this device, people are saying it's probably the most important phone of the year. I think it might be a little bit too early to call something like that, but I think this is probably the most important phone for Apple, because I do think that if you want to get a phone, let's say for your children, but you don't want to spend $700 on the cheapest iPhone, you can just give them the SE2. They're getting pretty much all the same performance, a stellar camera and whatnot, and you're getting it for $400. But I would say the configuration that I think most people should elect for, you should probably spend an extra $50 to get the 128 gigabyte version. That way you aren't so cluttered with storage, because this does take good photos and videos. And I think people who get this phone, they're going to be loading up their phone with a lot of these photos. So I would say if you are looking to upgrade and you're on the 6, 6S, 7, or 8, that you should look into this device. It is a very good product compared to yours. Pretty much blows the water out of all its predecessors in the same form factor, like my 6S over here. I do wish Apple would have made an SE2 Plus. I think a lot of people would have jumped ship over to that one more than just the smaller size, but I guess for pricing reasons and whatnot, they didn't want to do stuff like that, and it might mix up their product line, make it a little bit more confusing. But if you do have a plus size model, going down to this size might be a little jarring for you, so I wouldn't suggest you doing that unless you have a 6 Plus or 6S Plus. If you have a 7, I think you're okay for the time being. You can probably get that phone to last you another year or two. Camera quality is really important to you, and you want to have the latest features like the wireless charging, Wi-Fi 6, what else am I missing? True Tone and whatnot. Then the SE2 is definitely a device you want to consider. For people who have the iPhone 10 or above, I don't know if you should get the SE2 unless you hate Face ID. I thought I would hate Face ID, but to be honest, going back to Touch ID, it is nice. I love it, but Face ID is just so much simpler. It's honestly, I want to say it's faster than Touch ID. But yeah, that's pretty much my review and rundown of the iPhone SE2. I will be doing some comparison tests on the channel coming up. All I have is a 6S and a 10, so it's pretty limited. I also have the OnePlus devices as well, so I can do some comparisons between those. But if you like the video, please make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more content from me, please make sure to subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love.